the not having a gender thing for me specifically is related to the fact that I shapeshifted into a bird.
If these people are classed as sane people, I want to be insane. Hello, you wonderful people. Welcome back to the channel where we dissect the madness posted on TikTok. Are you ready? Are you ready for some more common sense? Straight into it. Let's go. Well, that was completely unnecessary. I would like to add that Rob is right. The guy who I get these videos from, he hasn't posted on YouTube. He's gone over to Rumble. So I'm over there as well, just in case.
So yesterday I was out sick and someone stole my little pride flag. Rest in peace. So I went into the closet, no pun intended, and brought out this bad boy. It looks great. If it was you and you're watching this, I will find you.
It doesn't need to be in the classroom. It doesn't need to be in the classroom. It really doesn't. I don't understand how many times I'm going to have to state this in these videos. You don't need to have anything related to sexual propaganda near your children. It doesn't need to happen. Why are you doing this? Why?
A lot of people were asking in the comments of my last couple of videos about my anchor charts. So I'm going to take a minute to show you guys what I was talking about. Anchor chart is kind of just a teacher fancy word for poster.
Doing something, being mindful means doing it with intention. Yeah, you see, yeah, it doesn't make sense. I mean, the stop method, stop what you're doing, pause, take a deep breath, observe what's happening, proceed. That's still good, but the stuff at the top, mix C is my teacher, G is multilingual. Like, it doesn't, that isn't helpful. That isn't beneficial. What you're doing is you're taking like genuine lessons that should be taught and then adding loads of weird propaganda into it. It doesn't need to be in there. It's very, very strange to me. Like, as an outsider, as a Briton looking in, this is weird, people. This is really weird.
So here you can see a couple of other anchor charts that I have for mindfulness.
Yeah.
And then there at the top are my anchor charts about my pronouns. It says, my name is Mixed Cogdill. My pronouns are ze, them, zir, and zirs. How to refer to Mixed Cogdill. Mixed C is my teacher. Z is multilingual. Students practice and speak Spanish with Zem. Zir hobby is learning languages.
I'm feeling...
It's just, you see, you're making random noises. I refer back to my old point of every single one of us having our own set of pronouns. This is what's going to happen. We're just going to make loads of illogical noises. And then if you're gender fluid, you can change your pronouns every day. It doesn't make sense. You're advocating for nonsense.
spicy, so here's my hot take of the day.
Here we go, hot take of the day. I'm racist because of my melanin levels. Are you ready for this?
All white people are racist. Every single last one of them, all of them are racist. And I don't mean that to say like every single individual white person, if I talk to you, you would have some kind of racist ideology. I'm saying that as a white person, you uphold a system of racism by literally just being white. I believe if you're not spending your literal entire life dismantling racism, then you're contributing to its continuation. And people get so like, whenever like I say like people are racist, like why is it such a big fucking deal? Like, yes, you're racist. Like, okay, we've established that. Now what are you gonna do to change it? Racism refers to power and race. If you are the powerful race in a society, then you're fucking racist. Like, I just don't understand why it's so taboo. Let's talk about it. Let's accept it so that we can work towards changing it. We're never gonna get anywhere if people won't just fucking acknowledge it in the first place.
The main problem that you have is that your definition is faulty. If I say that a microphone is a magical pixie that detects my sound and then writes it down in ones and zeros that the computer can understand, right? The microphone would still make sense in most contexts, but it wouldn't be an accurate definition of how the microphone really worked, would it? So if you want to say that racism is power structures and you have to have all these things around you and you can't be you can't experience racism if you're in a position of power, like that might make sense if for a few instances of racism, but it doesn't actually describe what racism is. Racism is showing prejudice against somebody because of their race. So what you have just done is racist in itself, because you're assuming something about me. You're labeling me as something because of my colour. So that makes you a racist. I don't understand how you can't see the hypocrisy.
I don't, Hans, are we the baddies?
I think it's the Dunning-Kruger effect. I think some people are so stupid that they don't understand their own stupidity. I genuinely think that's what it is. There's no other explanation for how that video could be recorded, posted, and then left up there thinking, yeah, I'm right. There's no way. Unless you've got a really low IQ or you're delusional. There's no way that that could happen.
That's complicated about my whole like gender situation, and I feel like there are other non-binary people who deal with this too, is the fact that the way I understand my gender and the way that I want other people to understand my gender are two wildly different things. Because I, and certain people that I've talked to about this, understand the nuances and complicated relationships that I have with womanhood, so those are included when we think of me as a woman or say she, her. Like, those weird relationships are still understood. But almost everyone else, they don't have that, so they don't get to call me those things. To almost everyone else in real life, I am not a woman and I use they, them. But then because I will call myself a woman or use she, her, understanding the nuances of it all, I feel guilty when I feel bad about getting misgendered by people who should be using they, them and not thinking of me as a woman. I mean, they're not wrong, except they don't know they're not wrong. They've been told I'm non-binary and I use they, them, so why are they still thinking of me as a woman? I'm allowed.
That was just completely not a word salad. I don't understand how you can sit there and go on like that and use like the word nuances and say, oh, there's nuances and all that stuff to it, and expect children to understand it. You don't even understand it yourself, and you're a fully grown woman. If you don't understand it, how's little Jimmy, 8-year-old Jimmy, going to get this? You're deliberately confusing children. Why don't you just stay confused by yourself instead of trying to spread it? And enjoy your own confusion. We don't have to enjoy it with you. You can enjoy it alone.
Hi, my name is Tempest. I'm a member of a DID system, and several people have asked how to use the neo-pronouns that I use, so here's a quick guide. So I use they, them pronouns, but primarily I use ze, them, themself. Now, this is a little bit different from the other Z pronoun, which is ze, zer, self. So the Z that I use is more related to he, him. I'm agender. I don't really have any kind of gender identity, but I have a masculine body in her world, and I'm more masculine leaning in terms of like self-expression, compliments that I like, things like that. And like Cameron and Avery in our system, the not having a gender thing for me specifically is related to the fact that I shapeshifted into a bird.
What did she say?
If these people are classed as sane people, I want to be insane.
So the other birds also use neo-pronouns because they don't connect to gender in a human way. Specifically, they don't connect to not having a gender in the same way that a human would connect to not having a gender. So it's not just the fact that we're non-binary, it's the fact that we're not entirely human. So ze, them are gender neutral and singular, and you can use them in a sentence just like you would use he, him, except it's with X's and a Z sound. And that's really it. It doesn't mean anything specific. It's not some complicated usage. It's just an alternative. I do very much prefer ze, them, but they, them is also fine, and I won't be offended if you only use they, them for me. But please do try to use ze, them.
That's problematic!
Indeed it is, Rob. Indeed it is. That woman has just said that she shapeshifts into a bird. Like Ace Ventura. I can do it, coach. I can do it. Like, I don't understand how these people are being enabled. Why aren't we helping these people? Why doesn't that person have anybody in their life who cares about them one iota, right? Enough to do anything about this. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. If you care about somebody and you see somebody doing something that's bad for them, you should stop them doing it. If you've got a friend or a brother or a sister or a mother or a father and you see them about to do something that's going to hurt them, would you not step in? Like, is that not what love and caring for somebody is, to prevent them being hurt, or at least attempt to? Like, I prefer these because I can shapeshift into a bird. That's all I'm going to say. Peace.